Hello, everyone. Welcome to TUR Digital, your guide to all that's happening in the world of IPL. Beyond the Boundaries, the name of the show. We've got Dwaipe Datta, who joins us from Chennai. Also joining us from Mumbai is Nitin Naik. And we've got Gaurav Gupta, who joins us from Mumbai. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us here. Uh, I can assure you that Gaurav is right here, but we're somehow not seeing him on the frame, but we'll get to him shortly. Dwaipan, surprising that you're not at the venue today. There's a match going on in Chennai.
No, no, it's very far. I don't want. I can't go for every game. Like 8 games, and it's hell. Like you have to go 3 hours, 2 hours before to park your car, and then to come back 2 hours later. Like I can't go every day. I love the biryani that they serve, but it's good.
Okay. Gaurav, can I request you to reduce the headspace? Just,
Yeah.
just reduce the headspace. Just yeah, yeah. Dwaipan, what did you make of Rahane's rant last night?
See, Rahane's rant last night. The thing is, this year he's going at a strike rate of 125.33. Last year he went at a strike rate of 150, which is good. 20, 24 his strike rate was poor. 123 for 123 for 0.47, and that's why he was released by CSK. But the year before 2024 he had 2023 had a strike rate of 172.49. So it has been a bit of a mixed bag. Has been a bit of a mixed bag, and this like last year, yes, he had scored 350. He scored 350 runs, and he had a strike rate of 150. So it wasn't bad. Uh, what I think the problem with Rahane is that Rahane is fine in power play. It is not that there is a problem in Rahane's game in power play. But once the power play is over, he cannot maneuver the strike as much and he cannot clear the boundary. So that is where the problem is. So I think so making him the captain, I think on the first place was wrong. Like if they had kept him in the team, played him in certain games when it was necessary, uh, and and left a little bit of flexibility, then it would have been fine. But if you go by cold stats, he probably has a point. He because his strike rate hasn't been the worst.
Nitin, do you think Rane is particularly getting testy right now? Because even in Mumbai after the game, he went on a rant. What do you think is happening with him? Is all the talk getting to him?
Who he used a very curious mix of words in that rant. He said they are jealous. Now I want to know who he means by they. They are jealous of me. They are having certain agendas. No, he should be specific and probably name who these they are. Journalists, former cricketers, commentators. Who is he talking about? Or certain, maybe he's talking about somebody in the franchise, somebody who's the coach. I don't know. If he's talking about his red ball form, I think there should be examination and criticism about that. I think his red ball form has been absolutely terrible. Uh, Vaipan mentioned that his IPL form. I mean, since that story came out, even I have been doing a little bit of homework. Chandresh, he has hit 36s in the power play in the last 3 years, which accounts to a six almost every 10 balls. Which is more frequent than Virat Kohli, who hits a six in the power play every 13 balls, and Rohit, who hits a six in the power play after every 17 balls. This is over a 3 year window, a 3 year period, a block of 3 years, 2023 to 2025. But it's after the power play that the real problem comes. Like even in the game against Mumbai Indians, I think he got to 50 quite early, but then his next 17 runs soaked up a lot of balls, and then that is where I think the momentum gets a bit lost. And against powerhouse batting lineups like Mumbai Indians, against even a GT or a Punjab Kings, I don't think that approach will do. You will have to keep going, and making him the captain. Yeah, it wasn't really the smartest of moves. Also, I think what he would be feeling the pressure of the fact that he's keeping somebody as fearsome a batter as Tim Seifert is, an absolute gun batter who's had a good T20 World Cup in form. So he would be feeling that pressure, and I think that is why he probably said whatever he had to say. But I would be really curious who he meant by they.
Gaurav, even in Mumbai after the game, Rahane had something to say about critics in Mumbai. Uh, so, what was happening there? What was the question asked to him in Mumbai after the game?
Question asked to him was by a journalist that there's been of talk around you, there's been murmurs around you. So what do you have to say to? Was this knock a statement knock? That 67 or 40 balls that he hit in the first match. So उसके जवाब में उन्होंने बोला that there have been people have been talking about me for the last 20 years. It doesn't matter and so on and so forth. And and after the match he was actually sort of just pulling the reporter's leg also, saying that you are the one who starts this, who's murmuring about this. No, और तो कोई murmurs नहीं है ये वो. So like that, I think it's just a case of somebody who's played a lot to a lot of cricket, a lot of good cricket, and sort of now I think stretching it really. I honestly think once he was not picked for the Duleep Trophy team, he should have called it a day, like Cheteshwar Pujara did. And he's just stretching his career, and this is all going to now keep happening. He's going to keep receiving criticism. I think उसके लिए रोहित शर्मा वो एक यादस्टिक बन गया है that रोहित नहीं छोड़ रहा तो मैं भी नहीं छोड़ूंगा. ठीक है, but Rohit has also quit a couple of formats and is now focusing only in the on the ODI format. Ajinkya took a long break. His last 4 5 seasons for Mumbai in the Ranji Trophy have been very very bad. In 23-24 he led them to the title, but his own performance was absolutely very mediocre. Apart from a half century in the final, which was a crucial knock, but other than that, कुछ किया नहीं खास. ठीक है. So Mumbai team has been dragging him for the last 3 4 years. The selectors I know for a fact are not happy with him. Last year also the performance wasn't great. In fact, last year 24-25 also ज़्यादा खास नहीं था. Last year I think he hit us 100 against Chhattisgarh. And after that he was talking as if he was talking to the media as if he's now ready for a comeback and so on and so forth. And I believe he tried to contact the national selectors also. And this is a completely wrong approach on his part. I think his best is past him, and he really should now look to sort of ease himself out from the game in a way that he doesn't sort of disgrace himself and put by saying all these things which really you don't associate with Ajinkya Rahane, but for unnecessarily combative होकर कोई फायदा नहीं है. The writing is on the wall. He's never going to come back into the Indian team in any format now. Test was the last this thing, but that's also not going to happen. I know last two Mushtaq Ali's he's been doing pretty well. Last year he was the highest scorer. Last year for KKR also he did reasonably well. I was surprised when they made him the captain this year, but then choice nahi tha unke paas mein. They completely messed it up while retaining players. KKR a couple of years back when they didn't retain Shreyas, when they should have retained Shreyas and kept him as the captain, they were left with no choice after that but to continue with Ajinkya as a captain this year. जहाँ तक वो टिम साइफर्ट को बाहर रखने की बात आती है, I think it's more of a case of their overseas quota of players being already full with Green being there. I think उसमें फिर choice ये है कि Green को बाहर करना पड़ेगा. Murzabani has bowled well. So that is another advantage that Rahane is getting of being an Indian player, and which is why also he's been made the captain. But I think at some stage the franchise will have to take a call, and maybe I don't know why they have not invested in Rinku's captaincy at all, Rinku's leadership abilities at all. But Ajinkya का ये combative होकर कोई फायदा नहीं है because the writing is on the wall. I mean, he's doing well in T20 cricket. That knock in Mumbai was good, I thought. थोड़ा slow हो गया बाद में. But initially in power plays, he was very impressive. His shots were absolutely wonderful to watch. But slowly he has to think about sort of calling it a day. I mean, it should have happened maybe earlier this season, but or last season. Because last year he took a big break after the this thing the first half of the Ranji Trophy. And the Mushtaq Ali. I think that was the last tournament that he played before he played in the IPL. He didn't play a single game in Vijay Hazare, which he has not done in the last 2 years. And then he didn't play in the second half of the Ranji Trophy as well. And he said that he wanted a break. So itna agar pick and choose karenge, to I foresee a very difficult time for him in the 27, 28. I mean, this is going to be 26, 27 season, right? 26, 27 Ranji Trophy season. This whole first half season, and drop bhi ho sakte hain. I mean, in the worst case scenario, to be very honest.
Okay, it's going to be difficult for him. He might get dropped this season only by KKR. Arvind Atre has a
And by
question
the
for
Mumbai
you,
team as
quickly.
well.
Huh?
And in the Mumbai team as well. And in the Mumbai setup as well.
And he became an expert recently on some platform. So,
No,
so he's
that's
already.
perfectly fine. वो
No,
तो
no,
ठीक
no.
है.
I'm
But
saying, I'm saying that if he's saying they are jealous, he himself is an expert writer on some platform.
Yeah.
So, who is he jealous? Is he
अभी
jealous
अभी
about
rant
somebody?
करने का season है. युवराज has suddenly ranted about being Dhoni being made the captain ahead of him in 2007. He's saying I was the vice captain all along. That I don't know why Dhoni was made the captain.
Okay. Arvind Atres has a question. Didi sir, who will be jealous against Rahane in 2026?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I I think it has. We don't always follow the Hindi commentary, so I don't know who's saying what, but it could be some of the Hindi commentators, I'm guessing, or those who are doing podcasts and all, like something on those lines. Because obviously, journalists, there's no point journalists being jealous of him. So who is left? The only ones that left are those in the com box. Who some of them are his peers. So it has to be one of them. Like it has to be somebody in that group, because the feeling must have been like he wants to say that you guys are not playing and I am still playing, and that's why you guys are jealous. That is what he must have meant. But I think he is in that stage of his career when he is getting into that mode of saying something which is slightly sensational, because he knows that unless he makes those headlines, he will not be relevant anymore. So after every match, he is throwing a line here and a line there, and we are discussing him. So that is probably a PR trick also that he is learning at the fag end of his career.
Okay. There's one more question for you from Pranav Sonje. Didi सर आज कितने ट्रीज लगाएंगे CSK?
देखते हैं लगता है मुझे इट्स अ गुड विकेट सीएसके द चेपॉक विकेट्स फ्रेश विकेट्स नो मैचेस before the T20 World Cup. No matches have been played. Basically, the pitches are good batting pitches. The team has been made with this pitch in mind, with good powerful batters. If if Sanju Samson comes good, I think this entire Sanju Samson and Ruturaj Gaikwad, or even one of the two comes good, then this entire discussion suddenly it will become irrelevant, because in IPL narratives change in no time. Like today we are saying this is bad, 3 days later we will say that this is the greatest thing that has ever happened to the history of cricket. So it can change very fast. Let's see.
Okay. Nitin, Greg Chappell era says, what is the role of Ramandeep in KKR team? Tejasvi Dahiya is a far better player than him.
No, I think Ramandeep is a is a utility player. He hasn't been used well, Chandresh. Even for MI, I think he was there in MI as well. I don't think MI used him very smartly. Punjab in the Mushtaq Ali, they have used him the best. Um, even the couple of T20 games that I have an issue with players who have been designated as these 5 and 7 ball players. Rinku also suffered from that. that okay, ये 5 ball आके 15 run मार के देगा हमको. This is the role of a finisher. You can't really judge people on what they do in 5 or 7 balls, and I think that is what they have reduced Ramandeep to. He's a wonderful fielder. He can give you a couple of overs here and there, but he hasn't been used well, and a lot of players in the KKR setup are not being used well. I think Naren, if he has to play and contribute as a batter, then his role is at the top of the order. The way Gambhir and Shreyas used him, I think he and Salt in that 2024 year, they were one of the most fearsome batting pairs. Even the way yesterday, we all know how poorly Varun has been bowling in the power play, and yet Rahane bowls him in the power play. So these are really tactical errors, and which should be even there should be intervention even from the dugout, from the coach and the assistant coach. I do not know what kind of communication lines exist between Rahane and the dugout, uh, but I feel that there were a lot of tactical errors done yesterday, and uh, they need to take a call on Varun too. I think it's his slump has stretched on for too long, and alarm bells now should start ringing, because he's 35, 36. Uh, Batters I think have seemed to figure him out, and are lining him up to hit a particular length that he's been bowling. So I think KKR need a reset, and they need that reset to happen pretty quickly. Otherwise, this season will again be a bad season for them.
Okay. Gaurav, Greg Chappell era says, GG bhai, why Rinku's striking ability is gone drastically?
थोड़ा loss of confidence है. I think hasn't been given too many chances in the Indian team also of late. Lost his father sadly, very very sadly and tragically, and then once he rejoined the Indian team, lost his place in the 11 as well. And then subsequently didn't play in all the matches. So I think थोड़ा सा short of confidence है. And I think जब से दुबे को promote किया शिवम दुबे को, Rinku has sort of been relegated to the sidelines, and that surely would have affected his confidence to some extent. Although remember he said that he will hit the winning runs in the Asia Cup, and eventually he hit that winning boundary against Pakistan. So वो finishing वाला role बहुत अच्छा है उसका, and he's got that ability to. That day also in Mumbai, I thought he gave a very good partnership with Ankush Raghuvanshi, who I think is coming along well. KKR's investment in him is reaping rewards, and he's got 2 back-to-back half centuries now. But रिंकू आने से थोड़ा I mean रिंकू का शायद थोड़ा ऊपर और आने से थोड़ा फर्क पड़ेगा definitely. I mean they should look to invest more in him, and I don't know मतलब मैं तो leadership के लिए भी सोच he's been made the vice captain, but I don't know how much he's able to communicate with the overseas players, especially in terms of English and all those language difficulty and all that. Maybe that's a problem area with him. So like that, but otherwise he's a terrific player in T20 format, in other formats as well. In fact, couple of years back I thought that maybe they could have given him a run in Tests as well, but they didn't. So I mean, let's hope that he sort of has a decent IPL and he's always there for India in the T20 scheme of things. And going back to Ajinkya Rahane, just to this thing, एक point रह गया था उसका. These combative things he's been saying for a while now. I remember an interview of his pre-COVID, I think around 2019 types, when he kept ranting about being dropped as Rajasthan Royals captain midway in the season, and he said that even I could never fathom a reason why I was dropped as the captain, this and that. I found it a bit awkward, and then eventually RR got rid of him and Delhi Capitals took him in, and after that post COVID, I think he gave an interview at a platform where he said that somebody else kept taking credit for the decisions that he took in Australia as the captain, which I found a bit strange for him to say that. I think he was specifically talking about the chase at Gabba, which I believe the team decided to chase, and perhaps the team the head coach was not in favor. That's what I vaguely heard, was not in favor of the chase. at that point in time. But the team decided to go for the total, and it was the captain's call. And I think Ajinkya, when he went out to bat, he batted very positively, and he gave the chase that momentum, and that he signaled that the chase was on. So maybe that was a. But I found it a bit odd for him to be saying that. So he's been a bit combative in the last few years.
Chandresh, he had come to TOI as a guest sports editor in 2016, and then I could sense that, and that was one of his better seasons. He had got 100 at the MCG. He had got 100 in each innings against South Africa at the Kotla, um, and it was one of his better years. And he came he came to TOI, and he said, and we asked him that, you are not really seen um, as a very outspoken guy, as as we always associate you with being reserved and someone who keeps to himself. So he flipped the argument entirely, and he put it on us. He said that is for you guys to change it. And I was very surprised that such a thing came out of his mouth at that time. So this thing that is there in his heart, I think he somewhere he feels very deeply that he hasn't received the plaudits that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, two of his peers in the Indian team, have always got. Um, and even I think he was let go of from the white ball setup very easily. I think Virat. But I think uh, they discovered a winning partnership with Rohit and Shikhar Dhawan, and I think that's where you know the he was let go of very easily. Although I thought he played one of the great World Cup innings against South Africa at Melbourne in 2015, but he somewhere in his heart he carries that I have not really got the credit that my two other big peers have always got.
Okay, Didi, there is one question for you. Uh, Didi, sir, every state association is now in the race of making a 1 lakh capacity stadium. When is Chepauk joining the race? And even after that, Chepauk will get to host the finals?
See, there was some talk of TNCA having a new stadium somewhere outside Chennai, but that hasn't exactly materialized. That hasn't gone too far. They haven't gone too far with the plan. They have come up with stadiums in the districts, but I haven't seen any news or reports of another cricket stadium, a very big 80,000 or a lakh capacity cricket stadium somewhere in the outskirts. I haven't heard. Chepauk, I think, in its present form, it's very good. It's one of the best stadiums in the country. It's very close to the sea. The sea breeze comes in. When packed, it looks very good. It does not and need not necessarily always be an 80,000 or a 1 lakh stadium for it to look good. Sometimes a 35,000 stadium can also have that feeling of that cauldron that they create. Like it enhances the mood of the sport, like having a large stadium where 40,000 seats go empty, 50,000 seats go empty for a test match. It doesn't make sense. So even in a T20 World Cup match, if Namibia and USA are playing, you will see 20,000 people at Chepauk, and you will have the feeling that the stadium is almost full. So I think this 35,000 capacity idea, I quite agree with it. Like, yes, during IPL there is a craze, like people do miss out, but it's fine. It's fine. It does. You need even if it's an 80,000 stadium capacity, then also people will miss out. Like, it is fine. If you love the sport, you can always watch it on TV. Also, you need not be at the ground all the time.
Yeah, there's a suggestion from somebody that if there's a 1 lakh capacity stadium in Chennai, one stand should be DD stand. Okay. Nitin, there are a few questions for you as well. I'm just looking for that. Uh, मानिकप्रीत सिंह से नितिन सर, रिंकू को क्या हुआ है? फर्स्ट मैच में वो एक स्लो नॉक खेला एज अ फिनिशर, कल 138 के स्ट्राइक रेट से खेला, उसका रोल क्या है टीम में?
Exactly. I mean, as Gaurav also pointed out that in the Indian team also, his opportunities have come very few and far in between, and I think his downfall or his issues really began in that 2024 season when Gambhir hardly used him as a batter. um, I think the batting order was designed in such a way that Sunil Narin, Phil Salt, Shreyas Iyer, and your other players then followed. I think Salt and Narin had one of their great partnership years in 2024, and then you had Shreyas do well and Venkatesh Iyer come and do well. Then Rinku had, and this is where I have issues with these designated roles. Okay, at least in RCB, Dinesh Karthik was told that okay, this is what we are giving you, or I think it started happening in KKR itself in 2019, 2020, and that's when I think he was candid enough to to convert him or convert his or smart enough convert his game, hire the services of Abhishek Nayar, and make himself into this 12, 15 ball batter. um, and he trained for that. Especially he trained for that. Six hitting, unorthodox stroke play. Rinku Singh, I don't think has that unorthodox shots. The lap, I don't see him play the lap scoop or the reverse hit. And so he's still a very in the arc player. Even those five sixes that he hit of Yash Dayal in 2023, I think if you see all his sixes, they came from extra cover to mid wicket or wherever it was. So so if you are given that role of playing only 10 or 12 balls, then you need a little bit more unorthodoxy in your game, which Rinku at the moment does not seem to have. Unless he adds those elements into his game, then only maybe he can be that designated finisher. Or I actually have no issues with him batting at 4 and 5 and bat 10 or 12 balls and then go for it. But clearly in this team, he's not been given that role.
Uh, Gigi Aru says, look at the stats of Abhishek Tayar as a full-time head coach for various teams. It seems like he's a much better gym trainer to help fat loss because as a coach, his teams are bad.
That is a bit थोड़ा harsh हो गया criticism. Although we should always credit him for working with Rohit Sharma again and again in 2011 and then last year, and ensuring that he's back in shape and fit and firing. And also working on KL Rahul. I think he's a great personal coach. He's worked a lot with KL Rahul as well, and KL's resurgence owes a lot to the work that is put in with Abhishek Nair at various grounds in Mumbai. And इसलिए KL बहुत मानते हैं उनको.
Even
So
Dinesh Karthik. Even Dinesh Karthik.
Dinesh Karthik also, yeah, lot of cricketers. So इतना भी उनको ऐसा मतलब maybe as a team coach there's something lacking. I mean, he's been assistant coach for a while, so this promotion was waiting to happen. He's been an assistant coach with KKR for a long time. I think the women's team अगर वो failure को side करे तो that was the first time in his life that he became the coach of. I'm sure he'll be wiser with the experience. The team that he has there. As a bit of a UP Warriors, थोड़ा सा limitations है. The captain herself is not a great T20 player, so थोड़ा सा मतलब वो not the captain exactly, the India ace all rounder Deepti Sharma. So थोड़ा सा मतलब there are areas where that team can improve, and I'm sure he'll come back stronger as a coach if he's retained for next year. And I thought he hurried up in declaring, retiring out Harleen Deol last time, which was a bad mistake. But then it was also something that fired the player, and she produced a match-winning performance. Here at KKR, I think he didn't have too much choice. I thought he could have been braver and gone for a younger captain, gone for a Rinku Singh or somebody, and so that Ajinkya को लेना ही लेना ऐसा जरूरी नहीं होता. I mean, if you notice when Gautam Gambhir was mentoring the team and the year that they won in 24, he had insisted that Sunil Narine will open, come what may, and that really gave a ensured that they got those flying starts. In this impact player era, wherein a 200 anything less than 200 is very risky. I think it really helps to have an opener like that. And I think a little bit of that I saw in the highlights yesterday. Sunil Narine did come up with a few blows, and I was thinking that imagine if the same guy was opening, then I think those explosive starts that they can get with Allen and Sunil Narine, that could be a deadly opening combo. You know. So वहाँ थोड़ा सा I mean Ajinkya could have always been a sort of a dispensable option, somebody whom they started with, or at some stage they brought him in instead of him making him the captain and building the whole campaign around him. वो नहीं possible है at this stage of his life. Perhaps 10-15 years earlier, when Ajinkya was really much younger and hungrier to prove himself, it would have been a good choice to retain him as the keep him as the captain. So I think Nair, thoda sa wo harsh criticism against him, but this is a very crucial time for him, And next few months are going to be very crucial because he has lost his India job last year. He was asked to he was shed from the support staff, which was very rare. It doesn't happen normally. जो support staff appoint होता है वो रहता है with the till the duration that head coach is around. It was a surprising move. Till date, we don't know what exactly happened, why it happened. Because Australia tour disastrous rata for a lot of people, and even I thought the head coach Gautam Gambhir was responsible for that debacle in Australia, but Abhishek Nayar suffered. And but that meant a setback for his career without doubt. He did well to be appointed the head coach of two teams, which shows that he has got great value as a coach. But this year is going to be very critical. The next few months, couple of months, and the next few months are going to be very critical. Either he will shine in both the jobs that he has, or he may actually end up losing both.
Okay. Let's see what.
One thing I will just say, Chandresh, like about KKR this time, when you lose Harshit Rana and Matisha Patirana, two of your best bowlers, there is not much you can do to start off with. So you are, as it is, you are hamstrung, and then your Cameron Green is also not bowling. So he can be a little brave in dropping Cameron Green and play Rahman Powell. That is one thing he can do. But he is really hamstrung when it comes to his bowling. The planning that had gone into the auction has gone for a toss before the tournament. So they are
That
going to suffer.
Mr. Gavaskar has hinted that today, has said that today, that he should drop Green if his Green is not bowling. So Mr.
Yeah.
Gavaskar has said that.
Okay.
Point well.
Now, there's one question for you, Didi. Didi sir, is Andre Russell teaching power game to Rahane?
No, I think this Andre Russell figure in that team is just for the kind of Andre Russell. If a coaching job wasn't given to him, he would have gone back to the auction and would have been picked up by some other team for 10 crore,
They
12
want to keep
crore,
it in Knight Riders family
so they wanted to keep him in the system,
because
as
they
has
use him
been
in
done by Mumbai Indians for your
Pollard.
what is the name of
Pollard.
Pollard,
Pollard.
and CSK did with Dwayne Bravo. That once they did not want 1 or 2 seasons, they did not want to risk that thing, that they go back to the auction and do well for some other team. That's why they have given them the money and kept him in that setup,
Because
because he
Pollard
is still a
is
dangerous player.
what's his name? Powell is still used. Andre Russell is still used in 2 or 3 other franchises of KKR in
Yeah.
UAE, Trent
He as a
Knight Riders,
player,
and
right?
MLC. Yeah, as a player.
Yeah. Andre Russell, like, had he gone back to the auction, I'm telling you, like, one of the bigger teams only would have picked him up, and 3 or 4 knocks he would have clicked, and then KKR would have drawn more flack.
Okay, just to let everybody know, the toss has taken place in Chennai, the 7th match. Chennai Super Kings will be batting first. Punjab skipper called it right. They are fielding first, and so it's interesting. Chennai have their first, because they're batting first. Their batting 11 has Sarfraz Khan, Karthik Sharma, Prashant Veer is also included in the playing 11. We just need to see who's going to be their impact player shortly. Nitin, there's a question for you from Sports Fan. He says, thoughts on upcoming spinner Shivang, looks exciting prospect for the future.
Yeah. He bowled well yesterday. He bowled well yesterday. He wasn't afraid, to even when he got hit a couple of times. He showed the heart to keep going for wickets, and I like players like that. But let's not pass judgments about. Unfortunately, Chandresh, during the IPL, everyone wants to become an India selector, right from your milkman to the person who comes to pick up your clothes for ironing, the person who delivers the courier to your place. Everyone says he reads the papers, he sees the score sheets, and he says that so and so should play for India. But I think he's not. Obviously, this guy is not saying that he should play for India, but for I think one game is too early to decide on. I that's why I rate players like Chahal and also highly, because a large portion of all his IPL wickets came at the Chinnaswamy, which is an absolute graveyard for bowlers, and he bowled well with good economy rate and good strike rate on those grounds. Uh, so that is why I have such high regard for him. And even on that day against GT, the way he got Joss Butler out, I know it was beautiful leg spin bowling. So yeah, let's wait and let's wait on players before we really pass judgments.
Okay. Gigi Ritambara Goswami has a question. Will Chahal or Bishnoi make a comeback to India's T20 side if Varun's decline continues?
Well, Bishnoi, I thought was bowling well in the series against New Zealand before the T20 World Cup. So I think Bishnoi should get a go in case Varun's formed out. I think they'll persist with knowing Gauti and Surya. They will give Varun a very decent run before they dump him. Because they tend to persist with players who have done well in this regime. And Varun has done well, very well in the past 2 3 years. This is his first lean phase, so I think they might want to stick with him, like they stuck with Abhishek. So I think Varun के साथ क्या हो रहा है कि maybe he doesn't have the what the experts are telling me कि बाहर spin होने वाला ball नहीं है. All his deliveries are either the straight ones or the ones that spin in. So which the batters are able to comfortably, especially off the back foot में जितना देखना बहुत comfortably खेल रहे हैं उसको. So like that. So unless he sort of reinvents himself and brings back that unpredictability factor in his bowling, that I thought was the something that he was thriving on. I think it could be curtains for him if he doesn't sort of recover his form soon.
Okay.
और जो sorry to intervene, but क्या हो रहा है? As soon as he gets hit, he's starting to bowl faster and flatter, which I think is not really suiting him or helping him. I think he needs to go back to you know what really made him Varun Chakravarthy over 2024 and 2025.
Okay. Didi Voicistic says, does Ishan impress you with offside game? Look very impressive for me this time. Your thought, please.
Yeah, like as far as I'm concerned, Ishan Kishan looks in sublime touch in this season. Like whatever he is doing, like his offside game is perfect. When he is getting stuck, he plays reverse sweeps. He like he has reinvented his game. Like that break that he had from cricket has really brought about a change in him, as in about the intent, about the way he has been going about. He's not throwing away his wicket. Like there is something. I didn't rate him too highly when Mumbai Indians spent so much money on him, and I always felt that because I used to follow this Chennai Super Kings Mumbai Indians matches with quite a bit of interest. Jadeja used to get him out for fun, but uh, post this break, like he has come back a different cricketer. Like if you ask me, even in that World Cup, like of the top three, who was the most dangerous? I would say it was Ishan Kishan. Like of course Sanju came good in the last three games, but Ishan Kishan was outstanding in that Pakistan innings that he played on that pitch against that attack, like out of this world. Like he's in super incredible touch, and he should keep going on with it. And I think it started off in a Ranji Trophy game here in Coimbatore, like where I was playing it against Tamil Nadu. He scored probably a 147 or something. I don't remember, but something on those, which was a superb innings. From there it started, and then it carried on. It one after the other. Vijay Hazare, Saad Mushtaq Ali, fantastic. Like I have been really impressed by what I have seen of Ishan Kishan in the last few months.
Okay. One final super chat for everybody, starting with you, Nitin. How many of you guys have seen Durandar 2 movie?
I know this is a bit too much information, but I'm going tomorrow morning.
Okay. So if you want to know where you want to catch Nitin, it is at the theater.
Because it was the cheapest ticket tomorrow morning, 240 rupees. So I mean I can't spend 600, 700, 800 rupees. Sorry.
Okay. Gigi?
I saw it. I saw it. I think last week it was. Sorry, I loved it. I found it unpopular opinion. I found it better than part one also. So like that. अच्छा by the way वो spinners वाले उसमें मैं एक point miss कर गया. I was looking forward to watching Digvijay Rathi bowl in the first match. And considering that Varun's form is coming down, if Digvijay Rathi would pick up because he had a very nice very impressive last season. But then उनको bench ही कर दिया. तो थोड़ा मुझे दुख हुआ वो देख के एंड आई होप ही गेट्स हिज चांसेस एंड ही गेट्स टू प्रूव हिमसेल्फ बिकॉज ही इज वन स्पिनर आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू इन केस दे डोंट वांट टू गो बैक टू Chahal and Kuldeep or they this by the way this Kuldeep also Kuldeep भी तो है मतलब Kuldeep is pretty much Kuldeep could not get a game I mean could not get a game in Super 8s because Varun was there so I think I mean we have Kuldeep but I think I'm hoping that at some stage Digvijay Rathi plays and is able to prove himself. You know, very impressive leg spinner.
Okay. Didi?
No, I don't watch Hindi films at the theater anymore. I did try to watch Dhurandhar in Netflix once it came on. By midway I slept off. It was unwatchable, but I could not quite figure what the fuss was. And of course I will not watch this one. And of course the politics of the film I do not agree. So I will not watch it.
Have you seen it, Chandresh? Part one
No,
or
I've
part?
not. I've seen part one. I've not seen part two. I don't. I can't find 4 hours of my life for this. I prefer to watch it at home over a period of 10, 15 days. Okay. Final question to all three of you. Starting with you, Gaurav. Who's winning, Punjab or Chennai?
Punjab. Chennai are playing two overseas players only, apparently. And Prashant Veer is making his debut. So, matlab, things are just going some other direction only for them. Good luck to
Nitin?
them. I think Punjab will.
Yeah, I mean, barring yesterday, all teams that have batted second have won Chandresh so far, and this is something which I feel is making it a little bit more too predictable. You know, the teams chasing are winning too often. I don't know whether it is to do with the dew or something else, but some solution needs to be found to not make matches so predictable in favor of the team batting second. So Punjab, yes.
Finally, Didi.
Then again, Punjab chasing. So unless Sanju and Rutu come good, it will be Punjab. Both have
Okay.
to come. They need
Okay.
to
Let's
score
see.
220 plus.
Okay, let's see what happens in this contest. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on all our videos and use the hype button and use the super chat to ask questions so that you get to know where you can get tickets. Both DD and GG have kindly consented to help you understand where you can get tickets for the IPL. That's it for today. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Thanks a lot to the backend team. We'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. Goodbye and God bless.